Are you ready to explore the places that nightmares are made of? Buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to embark on a journey to the most offbeat and terrifying locations around the globe. From haunted forests to abandoned asylums, we're diving headfirst into the unknown. Our mission? To uncover why these places send shivers down our spines and who should dare to visit. So grab your flashlight and your bravest friend and let's get spooky. Alright, imagine this. A tiny island shrouded in mystery, its trees adorned with hundreds, maybe thousands of decaying dolls. Yeah, you heard me right, dolls. Hanging from every branch, staring with their vacant eyes, their limbs twisted and broken. It's the stuff of nightmares, right? This is Isla de las Muñecas, just south of Mexico City. The story goes that a hermit who lived on the island found a drowned girl, and haunted by her spirit started hanging up dolls to appease her. But here's the kicker. No one knows if the girl even existed. Was it grief, guilt, or something more sinister that drove him to this bizarre ritual? The island is accessible to visitors, but be warned, it's not for the faint of heart. You can take a boat trip down the canals, but the eerie silence and the watchful gaze of the dolls can be unsettling, to say the least. It's like stepping into a horror movie, where every creak of the branches could be the ghost of the drowned girl coming to say hello. But hey, if you're looking for a truly spooky experience, this is it. The atmosphere is thick with the unknown, and the sheer number of dolls is enough to send shivers down your spine. Just try not to look them in the eyes for too long. You never know what might be looking back. Next up, we're heading to the base of Mount Fuji in Japan, to a place shrouded in silence and sorrow. Aokigahara, also known as the Suicide Forest. Now before we delve into the chilling details, let's get one thing straight. This place deserves respect. It's a place of profound sadness, and we're not here to sensationalize tragedy. But, the forest has an undeniable aura of mystery and melancholy that's hard to ignore. The forest is dense. Sunlight barely pierces through the thick canopy of trees, creating an eerie stillness. It's said that the magnetic iron ore in the soil disrupts compasses, adding to the disorienting atmosphere. The forest is accessible to visitors, but there are signs urging people to reconsider if they're struggling with suicidal thoughts, and helplines are readily available. It's a somber reminder of the struggles people face and the importance of seeking help. But beyond the tragedy, the forest itself is undeniably spooky. The silence is heavy, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the occasional bird call. It's easy to get lost in the dense trees, and the sense of isolation can be overwhelming. Some say the forest is haunted by the spirits of those who died there, their sorrow lingering in the air. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the chilling atmosphere of Aokigahara. It's a place that forces you to confront the fragility of life and the deep mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the exclusion zone, Chernobyl, Ukraine. This isn't your typical haunted house, this is a ghost town frozen in time by a nuclear disaster. The year was 1986 when the Chernobyl power plant went into meltdown, spewing radiation across the region and forcing the evacuation of the nearby city of Pripyat. Today, Pripyat stands as a chilling monument to the disaster, its buildings decaying, its streets overgrown, its playgrounds eerily silent. Access to Chernobyl is strictly regulated and you can only visit with a guided tour. But even with the safety precautions, there's an undeniable tension in the air. You're walking through the remnants of a tragedy, surrounded by abandoned homes, schools, and hospitals. The Geiger counters click ominously, a constant reminder of the invisible threat. But what's truly haunting about Chernobyl isn't the radiation, it's the suddenness of it all. The people of Pripyat had to leave their lives behind in an instant, their belongings left untouched, their dreams shattered. It's like a snapshot of a life interrupted, a chilling reminder of how quickly everything can change. So if you're looking for a spooky experience that goes beyond ghosts and ghouls, Chernobyl is it. It's a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human existence. Alright, let's delve into the spine-chilling history of the ancient Ram Inn in England. Picture this, an ancient inn with creaky floors, dim lighting, and a history steeped in dark tales. Yeah, you heard me right. This place is filled with old artifacts and an atmosphere that sends shivers down your spine. The history of the ancient Ram Inn is as fascinating as it is terrifying. According to legend, the inn was built on a pagan burial ground, and it's been the site of witchcraft and numerous ghost sightings. Over the years, the inn has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted places in England. It's a testament to both human fascination with the paranormal and our strange ways of dealing with fear. The ancient Ram Inn is open to the public, and you can take a tour to experience its eerie ambiance firsthand. You can wander through the haunted rooms where many have reported ghostly encounters. It's a humbling experience, to say the least, a reminder of our own fears and the vastness of human emotion. But let's be honest, it's also pretty darn spooky. The air is thick with the scent of old wood, and the silence is broken only by the whispers of other visitors. It's easy to get lost in the labyrinthine paths, and the sheer eeriness of the place can be overwhelming. It's a place that forces you to confront your own fears and maybe, just maybe, wonder if those ghostly presences are truly as harmless as they seem. Okay folks, brace yourselves because we're sailing to Poveglia Island in Italy. Now this place has a reputation so dark, so terrifying that even the locals avoid it. It's been called one of the most haunted places on Earth, and for good reason. For centuries, Poveglia served as a quarantine zone for plague victims. Imagine the suffering, the despair, the sheer number of people who died on this tiny island, their bodies burned in giant pyres. It's said that the soil is composed of 50% human ash. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. But the horror doesn't stop there. In the 20th century, a mental hospital was built on the island. Rumor has it that the doctor who ran the place performed cruel experiments on the patients, driving them to madness, before ultimately taking his own life by jumping from the island's bell tower. Today, Poveglia is strictly off-limits to visitors. The Italian government has declared it a danger zone, both physically and psychologically. The buildings are crumbling, the vegetation overgrown, and the air hangs heavy with the weight of untold suffering. But even from a distance, the island exudes an eerie aura. You can almost feel the despair, the anguish, the echoes of countless lost souls. Some say the island is cursed, that the spirits of the dead still roam its shores, seeking solace or perhaps revenge. Whether you believe in curses or not, there's no denying the chilling history of Poveglia Island. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels thin, a stark reminder of the darkest chapters of human history. Pause. 3S. Now, brace yourselves as we travel to the rugged highlands of Scotland, home to one of the most haunted castles in the world. This ancient fortress has stood the test of time, but its walls hold secrets that would send shivers down anyone's spine. Welcome to the haunted castle Scotland. For centuries this castle has been a hotspot for ghostly apparitions and spine-chilling phenomena. Visitors often report seeing shadowy figures drifting through the hallways, their forms barely distinguishable in the dim light. Some have even claimed to encounter full-bodied apparitions, their eyes haunted with a sorrowful past. But it's not just the visuals that terrify. The castle is alive with unexplained noises. Footsteps echo down empty corridors, doors creak open and slam shut on their own, and whispers seem to emanate from the very walls. Imagine standing alone in a dark room and hearing a disembodied voice call your name. It's enough to make anyone's blood run cold. The castle's dungeons are said to be the most active area. Many prisoners met their end in these dark, damp cells, and their restless spirits are believed to still linger. Visitors have experienced sudden drops in temperature, felt unseen hands touch their skin, and heard agonizing cries that seem to come from the depths of the past. If you ever decide to visit, remember, this place is not for the faint-hearted. The haunted castle in Scotland is a stark reminder that sometimes history refuses to stay in the past. The spirits here are very much alive, and they're always watching. So, are you brave enough to face them? Alright, let's venture into the heart of Transylvania. To a forest so shrouded in mystery and paranormal lore, it's earned the nickname, the Bermuda Triangle of Romania, the Hoia Baciu Forest. Forget your average haunted woods, this place is on a whole other level of creepy. Locals tell tales of UFO sightings, strange electromagnetic anomalies, and people vanishing without a trace. The forest itself is unsettlingly quiet. The trees grow in bizarre, twisted shapes, some bent at unnatural angles, as if contorted by an unseen force. There are areas where nothing grows, bare circular patches of earth that some believe are portals to other dimensions. Visitors have reported feeling dizzy, disoriented, and a constant sense of being watched. The most famous anomaly is a circular clearing in the heart of the forest. Photographs taken in this clearing often show strange orbs of light or shadowy figures that weren't visible to the naked eye. Some believe this clearing is a focal point for paranormal activity, a gateway to realms beyond our understanding. Hoia Baciu is open to visitors, but it's not for the easily spooked. The forest has an oppressive atmosphere, and the feeling of being watched can be unnerving. But if you're drawn to the unexplained, to the mysteries that lie at the edge of our perception, this is the place to test your courage, and maybe, just maybe, catch a glimpse of something truly otherworldly. Hold on to your heads, folks, because we're about to step into a fortress steeped in history, intrigue, and more than a few beheadings, the Tower of London. This isn't just some medieval castle, it's a witness to centuries of power struggles, royal dramas, and some truly gruesome executions. Kings, queens, and even a few commoners have met their untimely end within these walls, their spirits said to linger in the shadows. The Tower of London is a popular tourist destination, but beneath the polished facade lies a dark history. It served as a royal palace, a treasury, a menagerie, and most famously a prison. And not just any prison, mind you, but a place where torture and execution were commonplace. One of the most famous ghosts is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. She was beheaded in the Tower in 1536, and her restless spirit is said to haunt the grounds, often seen walking the ramparts or appearing in the Chapel Royal. Other ghostly residents include the two young princes Edward V and Richard of Shrewsbury, who mysteriously disappeared in the Tower in 1483. Their fate remains a mystery, but their spirits are said to haunt the Bloody Tower, where they were last seen alive. The Tower of London is a fascinating blend of history and the supernatural. You can explore the towers, walk the ramparts, and even see the crown jewels. But be warned, the atmosphere can be heavy, especially at night. The shadows seem to whisper secrets, and the cold stone walls seem to hold the memories of all those who suffered and died within them. Pause 3S. Next up, we're heading to the west coast of the USA, to a mansion that's as perplexing as it is eerie. The Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This sprawling, labyrinthine estate was constructed by Sarah Winchester, the widow of the inventor of the famous Winchester rifle. Legend has it that Sarah was haunted by the spirits of those killed by her husband's invention, driving her to continuously build and expand the house to appease these restless souls. The Winchester Mystery House is an architectural oddity, with staircases leading to nowhere, doors that open into walls, and windows that overlook other rooms. Sarah Winchester believed that as long as construction continued, the spirits would be kept at bay, leading to 38 years of non-stop building until her death in 1922. Visitors to the mansion often report strange occurrences, footsteps echoing through empty halls, cold spots in the middle of rooms, and the feeling of being watched. The house is a maze of over 160 rooms, 10,000 windows, and countless secret passages, each with its own story to tell. The atmosphere is thick with mystery and a sense of unfinished business, as if the house itself is alive and still under construction. The Winchester Mystery House is open for tours, and brave souls can even explore it by candlelight during special events. But be warned, the spirits of the past seem to linger in every corner, whispering their stories to those who are willing to listen. It's a place where the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred, and every creak of the floorboards could be a ghostly reminder of the mansion's haunted history. Last stop on our spooky tour, folks, and we're headed deep into the heart of Louisiana, to a plantation steeped in southern charm, and a whole lot of ghost stories, the Myrtles Plantation. This antebellum mansion, with its sprawling verandas and moss-draped oaks, is considered one of the most haunted homes in America. The Myrtles has a long and bloody history. Built in 1796, it's seen its share of tragedy, including multiple murders and untimely deaths. Legend has it that 10 murders have occurred on the property, and the spirits of the victims still roam the halls, seeking justice, or perhaps just a good scare. One of the most famous ghosts is Chloe, a slave who was allegedly hanged on the property for poisoning 2 of the owner's children. Her ghost is said to haunt the main house, often seen peering out from windows or appearing in mirrors. Other ghostly residents include a former owner who was shot on the front porch and a young girl who died of yellow fever. The Myrtles Plantation is open to the public for tours and overnight stays. Guests can explore the mansion, wander the grounds, and even participate in paranormal investigations. The atmosphere is undeniably spooky, with creaking floorboards, flickering lights, and an eerie silence that hangs heavy in the air. But the most unsettling part? It's the feeling that you're never truly alone. The staff tells tales of doors opening and closing on their own, objects moving inexplicably, and disembodied voices whispering in the night. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead feels thin, and the past seems to bleed into the present, creating an unsettling blend of history and the supernatural. Have you got the chills yet? These places are not for the faint-hearted, but if you're a thrill seeker, they're waiting for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay spooky until next time.